Good morning. I did the reading today at 6:53 a.m. That is going to be a 1-4 energy or a 5. And today is March 1st, 2025, which is a 1-3 energy, which is going to give us a 4. Today is Saturn Day, Saturday. And our beads of the day today are clear quartz for being master healer, lapis lazuli for wisdom, amethyst for calming of the soul, smoky quartz for protection, and uh, turquoise for healing power. And what do we have here today? Well, we get the 2 cards. I am doing a Decan walk, just let me slow down, and 36 faces, a Golden Dawn system. It's an ancient reading system that has been tried through time out of Egypt. Okay, and this is the 7 of Cups, water, relating to the 2 major arcanas, Empress and Death. And Scorpio, 3rd, Decan, Venus. I am using the Spellcaster Tarot today. Additionally, we have the Ace of Swords relating to air and the quadrant of the 10th, 11th, and 12th houses relating to cards that are mutable, fixed, and cardinal, the power of air. And so what do we have today? Expect endings. This is the 2nd day in a row for our 7 of Cups, our illusion and delusion card. Our Empress says that there is an ability, if you choose to see the abundance, it's not gone, but it's rather being gathered up so that a few can benefit. The Death card says if this occurs, it'll never be what was hoped for. That as far as balance goes, we need to focus on what is actually needed. We are going to gather, as people do, and peacefully resist Jupiter in the 3rd house, opposite the midheaven in Sagittarius, says that there are many tensions between the explosive goals and the practical concerns that we all have in the self-preservation range. Saturn is reserved and wants a responsible approach to issues. It is in an applying trine with Mars at this time. This is all about the well-being of our families, of what we think it all means. And when we don't know what things mean, we start filling in the blanks, coming up with conspiracy theories, which further leads us to stress and anxieties, not to mention poor decision making. If you are able to allow yourself the possibility that what you think you know is likely incorrect and based upon bias, that can be very helpful. Prolonged exposure to misinformation makes it very much more difficult to use critical thinking. How we can manage this is through a series of mindfulness practices, focusing on the moment rather than taking on the unknown. A lot of this is coming through the airways. So again, you have to think, are those thoughts that you're getting really yours? What is happening? And a lot of times we're getting a lot of negative thoughts, intrusive thoughts. They're everywhere right now. Many of us in self-doubt and fear, questioning the religious and moral intrusions. Our parent tapes, along with our desire to be of one body as a part of the human race, has led us to a collective mental health crisis. on a global basis. Money, a major focus. We are in a great year, and we are also in a great year event, which was predicted. We have transitioned out of the Kali Yoga, which in 2025, going from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. And this is about upgrading our consciousness, leading to us having a higher level consciousness. The Ace of Swords, all things air, as I've said, the power of air symbolically and how we broadcast and transmit our outbound messages. Saturn leading the charge at the ascendant, again with the applying trine to Mars in Cancer in the 5th house, our methods of peaceful resistance eroding the narratives at this time. Jupiter, the ruler, in detriment, opposite its 10th house, rules the 10th house. We will and are having an effect. It is creating breakthroughs for us. We're leaving behind old patterns, but must be patient with a strategic planning way, embracing endings as opportunities. Thoughts coming through the airwaves, being part of a frequency. Your brain, a receptive organ, picking up thoughts, not always yours. So do keep this in mind. Often there are external influences, such as our collective energies, how the media exposes us. Our brain, basically a processor of information under the influence of our subconscious programming. As we function outside of the laws of self-discipline and higher morality, it's time to observe and check out what you really believe. And when you're able to observe your responses, this is likely a more real image of your brain and what is streaming through your thoughts in general. Random thoughts, oftentimes not being yours at all. And I find this whole concept of what's coming through the airwaves to be quite interesting, as I am an empath and I have constantly had issues with this. And I'm going to share a personal story about this. I was having moved and having brought a particular lamp. I was being fussed at about this lamp not having bolo ties on it. And it turned out when I actually physically looked at the lamp that I realized it wasn't the correct lamp, the one that was loaded with the bolo ties. It was a different lamp. And oftentimes I've had a habit of when I hear something of taking it personally and reacting, which we all do. And only to realize that a lot of times I'm coming away feeling accused of things that I didn't do at all, or that weren't the way someone claimed them to be. That illusion and delusion, 7 of Cups. And I think that is in part how we feel. And I can say that being a part of the federal scene and now retired, what I think I'm seeing here is that when we are being referred to as parasites, it's frightening. It's very frightening. But realize that this is just coming out of a small percentage of the population, not enough to make any real impact upon us other than it's someone with a lot of money. But you know what kind of power we have? We can bankrupt that one person who views us as a parasite because, well, why should we put our money in his pocket if he doesn't think of us as anything more than an amoeba that doesn't have a value? So with that, we are in a collective mental health crisis, and we do need to gain our locus of control and reclaim our stability. We are heading in a direction that over time is going to be very healing to us. I see this as something that very much needs to take place so that we can truly identify what's really happening. And with that, please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to all the new viewers. This is a Decan walk, 36 faces, and thank you for being here today.